From the UK
to the USA.
You're rocking with the EC Twins.
How you doing, guys? Welcome to the EC Twins podcast,
episode 9.
That's right. Let's get to the part that we actually never address, Alistair.
Yeah, just like and subscribe this. First of all, we never mentioned that. And also, if you prefer to listen to podcasts, you can find us on all the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Actually, I don't know, all the Apple Podcasts. I listen to my podcasts. I don't watch that many of them.
No,
I tend
that's
to
true.
listen to them when I'm cycling or I'm in the gym or I'm bored.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to the podcast, we'll do more and more of them and they'll become more and more regular. And also here on the YouTube, there's other video content as well, so we'll be posting more video content. The last video we posted about how we lost weight.
We could talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, but I think you can see the video quality's gone up a bit from what we had here, because we bought some camera equipment and played
because
around
we're
with that.
locked down in COVID still, and we thought we'd teach ourselves to do some other stuff other than play records.
We're creative human beings. We make a lot of music, and to be fair, we've had a lot of fortune with it recently.
We've had a lot of success with it while we've been locked down.
Yeah, we think we've got a lot of stuff signed to some of our favourite labels. And then you sort of like, well, what's the fucking point anyway? All the clubs are closed. Yeah. How's anybody going to hear it?
What am I going to do? Play it to myself or watch my Spotify numbers, which are, respectable, but...
Well, the Spotify numbers are... But you saw that person today who said, Energy was my favourite song of 2020. And I thought, yeah, it was mine too, but... How is anybody going to hear that? It's a banger.
I love how he was talking about Energy being his favourite song. Energy is a recent song we did, by the way. EC Twins Energy. I loved how he's talking about it being his favourite song of 2020, like 2020 was over already because it kind of... Yeah. Everybody wants it to be
like
over.
Like there was
already,
any real competition.
Like they're blaming the year.
Yeah, there was other songs out in 2020.
Nobody think 2021's suddenly going to get better.
Oh, God, yeah.
Anyway, first of all, just let me mention what we're going to briefly talk about today. We're going to talk about a lot of things, but one of the things we're going to talk about is one of the worst shows of our life, because the terrible shows are more entertaining than the good shows. We can tell you about the good shows all day long, but
the funny is in the suck. That's what to remember, because when something sucks, it's really hard at the time. But just remember, that's where the best stories come from. We can all. I remember reading an article, and I don't know which DJ it was, but I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure he was a fucking nobody. I was reading in like one of these DJ magazine or Mix Mag or something. It was an interview with a DJ, one of these really serious techno guys, and they said, "Have you ever had a bad show?" And he said, "No." And I thought,
what a wanker. Is it a liar as well?
Then you've never done anything.
Well, also ask the crowd.
How would you know? My guess is if you haven't had a bad show, you've got very low standards. Because anything other than hanging out the door, absolutely packed and breaking records, is a fucking bad show to us.
Well, anyway, we're going to talk about one of the worst shows of our life today. And it was busy, so it wasn't bad like that. But it was the time we accidentally DJ'd a swingers party or some kind of orgy. But did you say it was a swingers party?
What's the difference?
A big one.
So do you remember how...
Yeah, when
I took the call, but do you remember how we got...
Yeah, when you're getting booked as a DJ or a comedian or a touring live band, you get offers off your agent, and a lot of the time you just check your diary, or your agent checks your diary, you're available, here's the money, this is how much they're offering you. Are you happy with that? Do you want a barter? So,
well, depending upon who your agent is and who's managing you and what their interests are, they have your best interests at heart. They're working with your manager to try and navigate your career to make the best decisions. But there are times even then when they're going to put the money ahead of all that. And if they've not got your best interests at heart...
Well, first of all, your agent pretty much just wants you to say yes to everything.
Right. But my point is, if you get the main stage at Coachella for $1,000 and that's the offer, and then you get, Sharky's Bar and Grill in Tallahassee, Florida for 20 grand, you probably won't hear about Coachella.
You're
Your
going to
agent's
Tallahassee.
You're
with your
going to
agent.
Tallahassee that
Your
night.
agent has it his way because he's just looking for the short, the quick buck.
He's looking for his commission check, you know. He's looking to make the money. So
if we say no to a gig, which we've been very guilty of doing,
well, you can never be afraid to say no.
no,
right?
we say no to a lot of gigs, and our agent gets pissed off at us. But it's my career. I'm not doing that shitty gig in the middle of nowhere
For shit money.
For shit money, I'm not doing it. I'd rather, I don't need to do it. I love work.
We'll work 7 nights a week, but we're not going to be given enough rope to hang ourselves. We're not going to go to, I don't know.
Yeah, Yellowknife Canada on a Thursday night for a 60th birthday party. Oh, and by the way, could you play a bit more commercial? Fuck off. No,
yeah,
I'm not
you're going to have to
no.
play 50% hip hop. It's
No.
not happening. Forget it. No, we're not doing it.
Oh, they're willing to pay you 20 grand. I'm still not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'd rather stay at home and.
So we're not the kind of guys who say no just because. There's always
there's
some
reasons.
kind of ethical justification in why we say no. But
Integrity is what we have.
Right.
They can't buy us, really. We're not prostitutes. So anyway, we'll tell you about the one where we accidentally DJ'd the Orgy. And as I say, an offer will come in for us. And an offer did come in for us.
well, do you remember why?
Yeah, the offer was a Las Vegas show for
EDC.
two shows.
So it was EDC week. This is what I got. It was EDC week
In
in Las
Vegas.
Vegas. I believe they said at the Hard Rock. And it was a lifestyle event.
This is a lifestyle event.
So when you say lifestyle event to the average person, we think like, oh, it's like a magazine party for fashion or a designer label. That tends to be what they are, like.
Yeah, they call it an event. So we've DJ'd some corporate events, some, we were supposed to be doing events before the COVID lockdown. It's where we'll go to.
We did the NBA All-Star weekend.
Yeah,
in Chicago.
those kind of things. NBA All-Star weekend. We thought it'd be an event like that, and we thought it would be something to do with EDC, so we could be there.
Well, we also thought that there'd be a lot of our fans in town for EDC. So whatever the event was, if they allowed us to have a big guest list or invite our fans, we're going to just, blow this gig. We're going to just put it through the roof because we know we're going to be able to bring a lot of people, and the party, even if it's very corporate, we're going to be able to fill it up with our fans and turn it into a real good time. So yeah, that's what he said it was. It was a lifestyle event. He gave me the fee, and he said it's X amount for both events. So I
it's difficult to talk about the money.
Yeah, let's not talk about the money, but it was X amount for both events. So
he said two events.
Let's say it was a book. It was a book for both events. So I'm like,
we thought,
that's
$2. $2, great.
It wasn't $2, obviously.
No, it happened to be a book for both events, meaning 50. Anyway,
it just got worse and worse.
So we take the gig, and as it comes further and further, I'm not seeing any marketing for it. I'm not seeing any. And I'm going, can I get promotional materials for this so I can market it to my fans? They're going to be in town. It's EDC weekend. We can market it. And we weren't getting any information off our agent.
Because on the occasion, you'll get a promoter that's bad, that's just not doing the work. And if you're flying halfway across the country or wherever you're going, if they're not doing the work, we'll try and just plug that gap for them. We have databases all over the country, and we'll say, well, let's just get our crowd in Houston. Let's get our crowd in.
Yeah, well, so we can have a good time.
Wherever. So I reached out and I said, did he need some promotion here? Because we're not seeing much. And my agent said, oh, well, no, it's a lifestyle event. So
it's a private event. It's a private event. He doesn't really want any of your fans there. And we were like, what do you mean you don't want our fans there? We want our fans there. So the email of the client was attached by our agent, the website. So I say it was Dave at fuckparties.com. And I was like, that's a bit weird, that email, So I checked
Pretty
out.
cool name for a party, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't fuckparties.com. It wasn't that cool. I'm not going to mention what it was. But I basically
I'm surprised if you do remember.
I basically went on to, I don't actually. I went on to fuckparties.com, and it was just, instantly I kind of realised I called you.
Like thumbnails
thumbnails of elderly ladies and gentlemen with topless or like a 60-year-old guy stood in nothing but a
I mean,
cock
even
ring.
if the girls are hot, who cares? I mean, that's not...
It looked...
We don't care about that. We're not going there to get laid. So when you do these events where they say, well, there's going to be 100 models... Irrelevant. There's going to be 100 models there. We don't care. I don't care. I
No,
mean,
I'll happily DJ to a swingers party.
Yeah,
as long
I
as they're
don't-
my fans.
Right. But
Which-
still... So you showed me and I called...
I showed you, yeah, and did you call the agent and
Yeah,
say,
I called the agent. I said,
well,
what is this event you've got us doing at EDC weekend? And he said, the lifestyle event. And I said, no, wait a minute. What's this
What kind of lifestyle?
Yeah, what's this nomenclature? Lifestyle.
this
What are you trying to...
vague term.
Which I know that you're using on purpose to confuse me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said, is it a swingers party? And he went, lifestyle. Yeah. And I said, why did you say lifestyle? What's with the bait and switch? Why not just say it's a swingers party? I'm doing a fucking swingers party. Fucking brilliant.
It was bad. I mean, I'm going to cut out, I'm going to make a very long story short. We basically decided...
Was you getting sick?
No, not really. No, I wasn't feeling great and stuff like that. But no, I was
I
okay.
think we decided at the time, we'd already decided because it was EDC weekend, rather than wait at the airport and get on the
Yeah,
plane.
not just that. Also, because it was EDC weekend, we didn't want to fly there and have to fly back
Right.
in case we wanted to hang out.
Right.
And also, we didn't want to be stuck there, so we decided we were in Los Angeles.
Yeah, in case it sucked, we wanted to come back.
You know,
right.
we had fancy new cars. We decided
Right.
to see not how fast they go, but
How do we on a road trip?
yeah, take one of the cars on a road trip. So we decided to drive up there, which is not usually what we do, and I'm glad we did because it.
Well,
meant
because even if you remember, we said to our agent, well, okay, give us the hotel details. And he's like,
you don't have a hotel.
yeah, there's no hotel.
Told us
I'm
that on the day.
Oh, god damn.
We did have a hotel, by the way.
Yeah, well, no, that was the thing because we said, okay, well, again, let's drive up. That way we can stop, we can eat, we can leave when we want. If that's 2 days, if that's 1 day, it doesn't matter. And
That's
we
2
can grab a
hours.
hotel if we want to grab one whilst we're up there. And we drove up, I think we stopped at like a Korean restaurant or something. And the client hit me up and said, have you checked into your rooms yet? And I'm like, dude, my agent told me we didn't have any rooms. And I think we'd already booked a hotel. We'd already spent like hundreds of dollars on our own hotel.
So yeah, the agent asked us if we checked into our the client asked us if we'd checked into our hotel, to which we said we weren't aware that we had one. He gave us the address. We thought, why is he giving us the address? It's at the Hard Rock, right? We know it's at the Hard Rock.
He's like, well, it's Hard Rock adjacent.
Kind of Hard Rock adjacent. You know where they say Beverly Hills adjacent, and you
It's
actually
like, well, this is South
Central.
It's Hard Rock adjacent.
You're in Watts.
Can you remember what it was called?
No, and I don't even want to remember what it's called.
Was it a motel?
All I know is there was rooms where the hotel room door opens to the car park.
Which is always a good
Always
sign.
a really...
Now, to be fair, as an
really bad
experience,
sign.
not a bad... Once you've been in enough nice hotels...
Yeah.
The experience of walking right out of your hotel room door into your car is kind of practical.
You don't walk out, what I'm saying is you don't walk out into a lobby and into a hallway down to a lobby and there's a front desk. No, you just get your key and you open the door and there's a line of cars parked. It was...
So it's a motel. I believe
To be
that's-
fair, they did give us... I mean, I say fancy rooms. I had like 3
Yeah, it was
floors in my
alright,
room.
wasn't it? Yeah,
It's like
it was like an
a-
apartment.
Yeah, I had like 3 floors. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I had like a pink bathroom suite, so it was weird. It was weird. The whole thing was weird.
The name
Obviously.
keeps flashing in and out of my head.
Don't
But I mean,
worry
as soon
about
as we went in, we were like to the reception desk, what is going on here? And they're like, yeah, it's for the party tonight. I'm like,
What you've got to understand is me and Mark get stage fright as well. We kind of get very anxious. We want every show to kill. We always want to go up there and give our best. You know, we perform at every show like it's our last because it might be. So we like to do the maths of what we're dealing with.
We want them to be sold out because we want to justify.
Yeah, we want
the
everybody
fee
to
that
have a
was
good
charged.
time. You know, the client's booked us. We want to do our job for the client. So we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we also do a little bit of research. Okay, where we're playing, what's the market, what DJs have they had in the past, so you can have a kind of idea of where you might need to go. It's kind of like if you was a boxer, and I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but if you're a boxer, you kind of watch videos of your next opponent to work out what style you're going to have to go there with, what you better be prepared for. There was none of that. We didn't have a clue. I mean, we walked in and I remember bumping into
Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman, yeah. I don't know if you guys know who Corey Feldman is. Actually, a very, very nice guy.
Corey Feldman is nice, man.
He's always nice to me.
He's just like Michael Jackson on the Bad album.
And he's a wicked good dancer. Remember when he did that dancing on the...
But to be fair...
Nice guy, I like him.
To be fair, nice guy and quality child actor.
Yeah.
One of the best. I love Corey Feldman, man. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, when he was there and he's always got... Christ knows what he's up to. To be honest, I'm non-judgmental. I really don't care what people are
None
up
of
to.
our fucking business.
None of my business what they're up to. It's just
as long as it's done between consenting adults and not animals or children, which it isn't.
Yeah.
Considering what he says happened to him in the past is surprising. If he has one girlfriend 1 week or 3, that's on him.
But for us, it was weird. We walked in and we're like, oh God, there's
because you'd see something that was like a relatively good-looking couple, relatively speaking. I mean, the environment's all too creepy to
I wouldn't
be
say
aroused.
creepy. Just you can't. You know where you can't put. You know something's going on. They're telling you something's going on, but me and you were detached from it. So you,
It's
We're
kind of
like
to our hotel rooms, past all the other hotel rooms, and the doors were open.
Every door was open on all the hotel rooms, and there was parties in each individual one, and there's obviously stuff going on.
And some people will be like, "Hey, you see twins
come in."
You felt like saying, "I'm just here to DJ."
Yeah, I kind of felt like we didn't speak the same language.
Right,
do you know what I mean?
point,
We didn't understand the cues or the signals or the signs. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know. I'm crap at sex, so there's no point bringing me in on it. Am I supposed to bang your girl while your boyfriend watches, or do I bang your boyfriend while you watch, or does your boyfriend bang me?
I think there's a good amount of back and forth.
Is there some back and forth? Where do I fit in the kind of
wherever you want? I think
is that what it is?
But you'd see one couple, you know, the typical sort of steroided guy, and then the sort of girl who matches that similar sort of couple's description, and then there'd be another couple who were remarkably comparable to like our mother and a boyfriend.
Yeah, the weird thing is, our mother had a new boyfriend. We're not that close to them, but we met.
We weren't raised by our mother, so we don't know her as well as you guys do. But she came over with a new boyfriend. Nice guy.
And there was a couple on the dance floor who were remarkably looked just like
dressed like
our mother. Dressed like Princess Leia kind of thing when she's in Jabba the Hutt, and then her boyfriend, a guy looked remarkably like a boyfriend. And was he not just as like I call it a vicar, like a
no, that guy who reminded me of him, or the one that I have in my mind, and let's face it, there were several couples.
Right,
he just had the cargo shorts on.
He did.
White guy, New Balance and cargo shorts, and you're like, oh, that's
the
weird.
Middle class fancy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. That he was the skinny guy who had the collar on.
He had like
the priest's collar,
the religious collar, and when he turned around, he had no back
on it, yeah.
Except he had like a G-string on, and
no arse. Just
a man should never wear a G-string. By the way, no man should ever wear a G-string.
I'm sure there's some guys. Well, maybe if you like other guys, it's sexy. You know, I don't think the women find it sexy, but.
I mean, maybe a guy should wear a thong. I don't. If you want to wear a thong,
if he had a thong and you could see the thread, the T-bar thread all the way down because he had no ass.
He didn't exactly. He had the opposite of a bubble butt. It was pretty. So yeah.
So the whole thing was just absolutely...
What you have to understand is we were really prepared to get into EDC and hang out with all the other DJs, all the record labels, our friends.
That was the problem, because we'd had it lined up how we were just going to dominate and get our piece of the pie that weekend.
No, we weren't going to dominate. I don't think you could dominate. But
we were going to make our mark with what we had to say, because... You know, a lot of those guys, the bigger guys, are all coming from Europe with European teams. We have somewhat of a stranglehold on the American market, especially our slice of it. And we thought we're going to make our presence felt here.
Yeah,
and we quickly had to spend the 2 weeks on the run up to it. Putting out the fire and denying all responsibility.
Yeah, I think we thought, you know, we're going to... Because every DJ and their dog is up there for EDC. So we thought we're going to go up there, as Mark says, make our mark, be a part of it. go and hang out with our friends as well. Maybe check out some other DJs. People who we don't get to
Invite
see.
our fans to a cool party, you know, get them on the guest list, everything
Just,
we can.
but really just enjoy what we work so hard for. We work so hard to do that. We wanted to be a part of it. Instead, I remember driving in and seeing the lasers and the helicopters and the big
Jesus
lights at
Christ.
EDC and
Billboards.
hearing the music and seeing the billboards and thinking, I am not even updating my social media. Like, I am going dark.
Instead of feeling a part of it, it was just worse. It would've been better to
Everybody's
not be
asking
there.
you, why are you DJing EDC weekend? And instead of being,
we're going up there.
we're
Yeah,
going,
what
are
you
you
doing?
DJing EDC weekend?
Yeah,
we're in
what you doing?
Vegas.
Oh, it's a private event. You don't want to come.
Well, no, we'll come. We'll definitely swing by. Just send us the details. We'll come. Okay, I'll text you the details. Phone off.
I'll be right back.
Oh my God! And actually, the gig. I don't want to go into it too much. It nearly
It
erupted
won't
into.
make us look good, will
No,
it?
it nearly erupted into a fight with the sound tech. It was.
Well, because I think I couldn't work out that. First of all, sound techs. There's a handful that I love, but normally they're real
Geeky bastards.
weirdo, pedantic,
Hey,
anal, passive aggressive.
hey, don't go.
Dicks.
You got to stay 2 under the red. Well, fucking do that.
All right,
then.
well,
Stay
put it
2
under the
red.
fucking
I
red
ain't
then and
touching
leave
it.
me alone.
Yes, your job. You touch
Hey
it.
man, one more time with that, and I'm pulling you off. You're not fucking pulling anybody off.
The guy
mate.
kept coming up to me saying, hey, one more time.
Well,
if you,
I think he had
one
the-
more time if you go into the red, I'm pulling you off. Well, first of all, I didn't put it into the red. I didn't touch shit. Second of all, you ain't pulling anybody off. Why don't you try and pull me off and see where that gets you?
So I think what he
Which
did,
is what I said to him.
I think, or it's a guess. I may be wrong, but it was as if he had a problem with the whole party or something.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
no,
he was
no,
a part
because
because if you remember the sound techs and the tech guys that were
They
there,
knew us,
They
yeah.
knew us from
They
all
knew
the
us,
big
we're
clubs in
friends.
Vegas, and we love those guys, and,
Yeah.
and they love us.
just one guy
But
kept
this
coming up to me
one
saying,
guy-
one more time if you put it in the red. I said, hey, bro, I'm cool. No problem.
I couldn't work out if he bunched us in with the swingers and was treating us like them with the disdain that he had for them, or if he was one of the swingers and he was treating us with disdain because we were outsiders.
He was just a
who were in.
wanker and he was a weirdo. Like, so he came up to me and he said, don't go into the red again.
And he wasn't. He looked like a fucking.
Yeah, he was
He
big.
looked like a. What do you call that? Hell's Angel.
Yeah, he
or
looked like a
something.
Hell's Angel. Exactly. Came over. He said, "Hey, keep it out the red." I said, "Yeah, no problem, man. You put the volume where you want to put it. I'm good there." And then he came up again. He said, "I told you to keep it out the red."
Well, wait.
I said, "Bro, I didn't touch it."
Let
and then
me-
he came
let-
up. He said,
Wait
"One
there,
more
let
time,
me-
I'll drag."
before you go there. Let me tell them that. We went on, and did the power and everything not go out right in the beginning? Just before the drop of our first intro song,
Yeah.
everything went out.
Yeah, which is always really
So
bad.
that threw us off because then we had
'Cause
to
5
restart
minutes.
again. Everybody, you know, the EC Twins, everybody's excited. You're just about to drop and everything went off. So then we had to build them up again.
And
Now-
that's his fault, by the way. That's his fault. the
and he
Hell's
knows
Angel
that,
guy.
which is probably why he's being.
We
overly
literally weren't
defensive.
touching anything, and the power went off. His fault. His
So
fault.
then you're trying to get a hold of the crowd. Now, it's not like a bar fight, but you're really concentrating. You're already on edge. You're already trying to win over that crowd, to pick through what's working, to work them out, talking to Alistair, trying to get your energy across and connect with them. If somebody starts tapping you on the shoulder like this, just when you're in the middle of something, imagine how annoying
whatever
that
it is you do, if you play golf or you going for is it called a free throw in
Free throw?
for free throw, whatever, in basketball, imagine you're concentrating or you're going to put, and somebody starts doing this on your shoulder. Have your friend jab you in the shoulder.
Now have them do this. Hey.
You're like,
You're gonna- mate.
give me a minute, mate. I'm working here. So
Andy's doing it in front of the audience who are all looking at us.
So the first time I backed down, I said, sorry, mate, I won't touch it again. The second time I said, mate, I didn't touch it. Please put your volume where you put it and I'll leave it alone and that'll be the deal with you. Third time he came up and he said, if you put it in red again, I'm dragging you off stage. To which did we drag him onto the stage?
Yeah.
It was bad. It
was
wasn't
bad.
a good. It wasn't a good
It
scene.
was bad.
It was bad.
It was
one
bad.
of my worst on scene.
But to be fair, it was the typical experience that you have with a bully.
Yeah.
That the more you back down,
The more he picked
the
on
more
us.
he picked up until we
Said, "Fuck it then."
we were the aggressors, and then he was like, "Whoa!"
He's
to the client.
did he not leave? He
Yeah,
left.
he
right?
left, and he was,
He left.
and even the other sound tech said, "Well,
We don't know him. Yeah.
They said to him, we've known those guys for 10 years and we've never seen them act like that.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
What did you say to them? Yeah.
What did you
We've
say
known
to
them for
them?
10 years and they've always been, I mean, we're fairly amicable men. But, you know, we come from not the greatest background. having somebody...
We're not the great debaters, are we?
No, and having somebody... I've got 2 gears. And my kind of default gear is very nice and very amicable. But if somebody threatens me with violence, which is what that guy did, it's nothing I'm not accustomed to. And I'm also...
We were not trained where we came from to allow a threat of violence to go unanswered. It's just a warning.
Working class British, you kind of... That British thing, you go, okay, and you... yes, I know, of course, after you, and all that, but... There's the second gear of a British person, and particularly a working class British person, where you say, why don't you talk to me like that outside? Now, at that stage, I couldn't go outside. To be fair,
in America, because they have guns, and they don't have healthcare, they'll do a lot of shouting at each other and waiting for the doorman to jump in. In Britain, you're not going to ask the guy to get outside because that's a warning. You just start swinging, and it wasn't like the guy looked like he couldn't fight.
No. It wasn't like the guy looked like he couldn't fight. He was threatening me. He was big, and I wasn't going to wait for him to hit me.
Surely we're not the only ones who are like that. Have you ever been like super polite to somebody?
It's kind of like, can you imagine if you opened a door for somebody and you went after you and they don't say thank you and you're like, that's not right, and then you open the second door and they don't. And the third door you open for them and they turn around and say, move out my fucking way.
Get the fourth door or else. It's like, no, you know what? Get back through. I'm taking you back through all 3 of those doors that I've just opened for you. Now you're going to open them for me. You made these rules, mate.
By the way, this is not the way to behave. Me and my brother have discussed it with each other.
Yeah.
We perhaps weren't raised in the best environment, and it's not, if you can raise yourself above that level of consciousness and just
We have seen people... Oftentimes really tough people who raise themselves above that and they just debate and they talk, and I have a lot of respect for those people.
What
they do
is what is it called where you kind of diffuse the situation, whereas we kind of pour gasoline on the situation, which is not... They
de-escalate the situation and we escalated it.
It was not. It's not what I'm saying to do. I'm just being honest.
About how bad the event was.
Also, that's it. Also, what you've got to understand is the position I was in. I was stood there looking at a room of naked people. The sound was cutting out and in. Right. I'm sweating on the stage. I can hear the goddamn music and see the lasers through the window from EDC.
We were told, if you remember, that so it was X amount for both gigs.
Yeah.
But we had to kill the first gig.
Yeah, they said to me, if you kill this...
When we were there, I was like, what the... How
if you kill this gig, we'll give you the second one.
How dare you hold me to ransom like this to do this shit gig at a swingers party?
You think I'm coming back? No, the guy came up and said, if you kill this, you'll give you the second gig. First of all, we were under the illusion that we already had the second gig contractually. Second of all, do you think we're coming back to the second gig? We ain't coming back here, mate. No matter how much you pay us.
I don't care where it is or what it is.
This is, I don't want to die the riches. I mean, like, life could be a one-shot deal for me, you know what I mean? I wasn't raised religious. If you are, fine. But life could be a one-shot deal for me. It's not a dress rehearsal. I don't have too much time to spend
on top of that,
DJing swinger parties.
On top of that, our agent had used, again, some colourful language to dress it up. And I think we knew beforehand. And if you remember, when he said it's X amount for both gigs, so we thought, okay... a buck and a buck. Yeah. It was X amount for both gigs, meaning a buck for both gigs. Yeah. So that was
we're like, wait a minute, we're getting half the money that we thought we were getting.
So I think we knew that in advance. I'm like, dude, I ain't coming back. I ain't coming. You should.
By the way, just so you know,
my ego wants me to blow it out the water and be like, yeah, there you go, peace. I ain't coming back.
And just so you know, if you're into that swinging stuff as well, good for you. Good for you. You know, I'm no fucking prune.
They were awesome. The thing is, though, as an entertainer at something like that,
yeah, they weren't into that. They weren't there for the music,
right? I mean, come on.
Which was that was the weird thing.
Come on,
you've got to understand. If you've ever been to one of our shows, we're used to interacting with the crowd and, you know, almost being part of the crowd. There was this huge disconnect there. There was something else going on.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to do whatever the procedure is to hook up. That way, people were walking in and out and passing room keys about. Yeah. So people were distracted with that, and we were just sort of a backdrop. Yeah. So how easy is it to... The reason they were there... And to be fair, again, Alistair, you're quite right. In fact, all of those guys were super nice, man. Those swingers were really nice, and a lot of them
except the sound tech, everybody was cool.
Yeah, everybody was cool, and they did want to dance for us, but they were there to get laid, and so it's kind of like we were just a distraction. How am I supposed to kill that?
It was very strange, guys. I don't know. Again, we just weren't prepared for it. Again, I can't kind of. Say enough how we were prepared for EDC Las Vegas week, where we were going to go in there and kill it in front of a crowd of dance music enthusiasts who are passionate about our music, and it's always a great time, and we're going to see our friends and hang out with people in the scene.
Invite all the A&Rs, give our crowd a really amazing
and then maybe
party.
Afterwards we bounce around all the other clubs and we hang out and we see everybody, and it was going to be a great weekend. That's what we were prepared for.
What did we do?
We did the show, and then we got back in the car, went to our room, showered. You went to your room, we showered, and then you called me and you said...
With bleach.
Yeah. And then you called me. I said, should we get an hour's sleep?
Well, it was one of those where after... So let's face it, it was a bait and switch to get us into the gig in the first place. We've been told it's at the Hard Rock, and it is not at the Hard Rock. We've been told it's a glamorous event, private event, and it's a sleazy swingers party in a motel. And then we've been paid half of what we normally get paid.
Half of what we thought we'd agreed to, never mind what we normally get paid.
Right.
Half of what we'd
agreed to.
We thought we'd agreed to, you know.
Christ. We'd driven out there, paid for a hotel out of our own money, but turns out we had these motel rooms. So now we're staying in these motels, and we've been in a fist fight with a Hell's Angel, and... Flying overhead is like all the helicopters.
Yeah, you come out,
EDC,
it's just like Calvin Harris's billboard.
You can just hear boom, 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 and it's like, oh man.
You can feel the energy from it, and I'd say we were just next to the Hard Rock, so we just felt like, I literally felt like a block detached.
Oh, God.
You know, you can feel the energy from EDC and from all the clubs and from the strip, and then we just like, I don't know, you just like one block is such a huge difference. You thought, where are we? You just went back to your room, and I think we just went back to our rooms.
I think we went and with the intention of getting some sleep, just sort of take a minute to just
what am I doing with my life?
Is there anywhere I can binge on candy or something? But if I walk onto the strip, even if I go to CVS, it's going to be packed with everybody.
Yeah, it's just going to make me feel... We were like, should we go to other clubs? Should we go to EDC? God, no, that'll just make it worse, because then I'm going to bump into people, fans or crowd or friends or other DJs who are going to say, what did you do?
I have to try and put a veneer of... Yeah, we did a gig.
I'm not very good at bullshitting, you know. You got to be like, yeah, we did a gig, or what was it? Always this private thing.
No, mate, it was a swingers party.
That's probably what I'd say, mate. I just DJ'd a swingers party. At which stage you think they're going to laugh, but they kind of just go, ugh. Yeah. You know, for me, the other DJ come up, go, yeah, I just came off main stage. What did you do? And I'd be like, bro, I just DJ'd a fucking swingers party. It was hilarious.
Fist fight and got grotesquely underpaid.
One of the worst career nights of my life.
Disrespected on every level.
But usually my personality, when I say that kind of thing, it doesn't go across to the other DJs for some other reason. Don't share my sense of humour. I'm able to laugh at myself. They don't seem to be able to. So you called me
because most DJs, certainly not all of them, but a lot of DJs are technically computer geeks, either who've concentrated on working with computers and not socialising with people.
And they've made a hit.
Or else the rich kids who've just paid some computer geek to make the hit for them.
Yeah, most DJs don't
Sense of humour, character, you know, it's not really...
Can you really name a DJ who's got a personality? Can you... The problem we have with DJs, certainly at the moment, and there was a moment there.
They're all nice. But can
you name a DJ where if you look at a billboard, you go, I want to be like him? Again, a lot of you out there will understand the industry, and a lot of you won't. You're better off saying nothing in the.
That's not just DJing. That could be anything, you know. I mean, it could be golf.
Well,
or
if you saw our how we lost weight video that we posted, how we lost 30 pounds in 2 months, 30 pounds each, not 15 pounds each. So we lost 60 pounds in 2 months. You'll see that we ride bicycles, and you know we always say cyclists. We've seen them go through media training, and we've been through some media training with our publicists. And media training is when you go up onto that red carpet, you tell them everything is amazing.
You have three.
Let me give Mark an interview of what he's supposed to say on a red carpet.
No, let me give you an interview of how it. Give me an interview of how it would go with the EC Twins. Ask me a question.
So, guys, we're here with the EC Twins now. Hey, we'd just like to know, what have you guys been up to?
And I'll take a look, and I'll see she's from the Disney Channel, and they probably don't even know who we are, and I'll go, an awful lot of masturbating today.
Mark said that to a Nickelodeon person once.
And my publicist would be like, cut. You've got to stop doing that. So it'd be like, okay, what do you think of the new...
The reason he said that, by the way, is because he was being interviewed by... It was Nickelodeon he was being interviewed by, and he realised that they weren't interested in interviewing him, and our interview was never going to see the light of day, so he trolled them. They said, what have you been up to? And she was looking over his shoulder, and he said... I've been doing a lot of bondage and S&M this week. And she went, Kind of like that scene on Wayne's World with Handsome Dan, you know, where he's not...
And then they'll ask you, like, what do you think about the new Tekashi 6ix9ine album? And I'll say it's insufferable. I haven't heard it, but I don't need you to tell you it's insufferable.
Your ears deserve better.
And our publicist will pull us to one side. Or even sometimes the journalist will go, that's a bit harsh. Well, you fucking asked for my answer, didn't you? I gave you my answer. Yeah. What do you want? Well, why don't you tell me what answer I'm supposed to give you then? So then every interview is like, oh yeah, I'll do it with you, Alistair. Okay. So hey, EC Twins, what do you think about Drake's new album?
Oh, it's amazing.
Cool. What do you think about Cardi B's new video?
Oh, it's amazing.
Nice one. And we hear that Coachella's coming up. What do you think about the lineup?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right. Okay. You're not allowed to, there's no nuance. You just got to go amazing, you know, working hard. Got a new song coming out. It's like,
we've been working really hard, get ready for our new music, you know.
And then after the time you're standing back watching those guys saying, I've been working really hard making the music. Because I know you.
But the thing is,
I've been in the studio with you. You didn't make that music.
The thing is, though, I find us saying that because, you know, at the moment we could say to you guys, yeah, we've got some big music coming up because we have. But we often see DJs on the red carpet going, yeah, been in the studio, got some big music coming up. And we're like, you ain't got shit coming up. Do you know what I mean? And what you have got is mediocre.
Well, I don't know that we have some big music coming up.
Well, it's good music, though, what we've got coming up. It's
I'm
good music.
Yeah, they'll be the judge of that, won't they?
No, it's good. They won't be the... I'm sorry, I'll be the judge of it. It's good music, man. I'm not stupid.
Okay,
I'm an expert in it. We've got some good music coming up.
Fair enough.
Got a, you know, I like the funny track we've got coming up as well, which, you know, we mixed with disco. It's good music, man.
There's one of them that we're not massively proud of, but it'll probably be the biggest.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did make one song that. Yeah, I'm not.
It's kind of a cheap shot, right?
Yeah,
our manager kept going on about
asked us to.
He's a rock guy, so he comes from a rock background. Now, I'm certainly not hating on rock. I think rock musicians are incredible, but we were raised with soul music. So it was mostly black music that we was raised with. So rock music to us is...
we don't quite understand it. So when they told us to, I would say, recreate a classic rock song, they asked us to recreate a classic rock song with disco house elements.
And they said, like, make it, you know, as good as the original. And I'm thinking, well, I don't like the original, so where does that leave me?
So we did it. And ironically, as these things always work, we made six songs in, you know, 2 weeks or a week and a half. We made 6 songs. We sent them to the labels. And, of course, all the labels come back and all want to sign the one that... The cheap shot we made, it was not so much as a cheap shot. It was just painted by numbers. We didn't push the boundaries. We like to push the boundaries and be at the forefront.
Which sometimes, to be fair, so it's not that it's a bad piece of music, but sometimes when we push the boundaries, you're sending that music out there.
Well, like, for example, you've been talking about, you know, The Weeknd, the 80s song you did. Well, if you watch interviews with us from 6 years ago, and we'll tell you that we made that stuff. We've got 20 tracks that are 80s made with exactly the same synthesizers as The Weeknd used.
But you can't hate The Weeknd for doing it because it's not like he ripped us off. Not at all.
But what I'm saying is, look at interviews of our old interviews where they ask us, what are you guys doing? And we tell them, 4 years ago, we're doing 80s music, we're doing 80s synthesizers into dance music. And of course, the labels... They just ignored us. They looked just like...
But that's... You earn that, though, don't you, to be fair?
And The Weeknd, they're like,
once you've had... Because, you know, now it's easier for us to get the song signed because we've been signed to certain labels.
Yeah.
They've got a bit more reverence, a bit more respect for us. So if we say we're going to try something different, they might take a chance on us. So that's what's happened with The Weeknd.
Whereas then we made 80s stuff and they were like,
yeah,
why are you doing 80s stuff? What the
hell are we supposed to do with this?
And The Weeknd does it, and everyone's like, have you heard this? Yeah, I get it. I know every single synthesizer he's used. I know exactly what he's done. I like it. I think it's a good song. I'm just... That's
just
what
pissed off that they didn't listen to it when you sent it.
And I guess that's what happens when you work in music that much. You listen to his piece of music and it's very...
Well, there's also
deconstruct it, don't you? It's a good piece of music. I like it, but
there's also that collective consciousness thing because sometimes... You'll make a song and be before anybody could have even heard it, somebody else will have a very similar idea. That's happened a lot with us with the disco stuff recently. There's a lot of guys firing out stuff, and you're like,
yeah, I called you and I said, we went in there, we said, we're going to do disco, and then we're in the studio doing disco, and of course Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande released a song, which, by the way, is a sample of a Gwen McRae record, originally. A sample of a Gwen McRae record. Love That I'm Giving, is it? There's love. And then that went on to be sampled by Cassius. My feelings for you have always... And then they've sampled the Cassius there.
But as soon as I heard that...
Gwen McRae was turned into a house record by Cassius. Lady Gaga... Well, actually, it's Burns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As soon as I heard that, I said, look who produced that, because that is somebody who understands French filter house, which is similar to what we're doing right now. That must be somebody who's on a similar... a parallel creative space to us, because we're doing it at the same time. It's not like he's ripped us off. We certainly haven't ripped him off. But how the hell is he doing something that sounds so similar to everything we're making?
So
it was Burns who's one of Calvin Harris's
guys. Not just
guys.
Burns. There was a few of them on there. There was 7 or 8 producers and writers on that track. It wasn't Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande who wrote that track. Just let you guys in there. But yeah, it's a sample of a Gwen McRae track that was sampled into a house track that is now made into a disco kind of pop track. And we're there in the studio going, Jesus, this is where we get kind of... I mean, look, we made a song called I Won't Let You Down. Okay? I'll give you a sample of it. And then 1 year later, I get a call. Hey, Diplo's playing your song, I Won't Let You Down. So I turn the radio on. It's kind of like my song, but not exactly.
So our song, you can reference them all. Ours is called I Won't Let You Down. So
EC Twins, I Won't Let You Down. Go and check it out.
Now go and look up Armand Van Helden, who, by the way, is perhaps one of our all-time favourite producers.
Yeah, and DJs. I love him.
He's one half of Duck Sauce.
Yep.
I'm not knocking that guy.
Nope.
I don't know if he heard our track.
Nope.
Ours is called I Won't Let You Down. His is called Wings. Go on A&B them. And then Hexagon Records, which is a label that we're signed to. I love those guys so much. Can't wait to release other stuff with them. Released, I think they called it I Won't Let You Down.
Anyway,
look them up.
We made a song and we sent it to the labels, and then over the period of the next year and a half,
they said we like this, but it's not for us. And then 1 year later, one of the bigger labels put it out.
Our label said to us, we like this, but it's not for us. And then 1 year later, that very same label put out
the exact same song. But that's not to say that Armand Van Helden's not one of my favourite producers. I mean, he's done some...
I loved it. He did an album called
New York Mix Odyssey. One of the best
amazing.
albums I've ever heard in my life. I'd probably watch him over mostly any other DJ.
Yeah, and A-Track's a nice guy too. Oh no, he's Duck Sauce. I like the Duck Sauce.
If I was
stuff.
at a festival though and Armand Van Helden was playing,
there's very few DJs that we'd get off our ass for.
Yeah, and I'd go and watch him.
Armand Van Helden, I'd get off my ass.
So I'm certainly not hating. I don't know if it was collective consciousness or what it was, but go and listen to EC Twins, I Won't Let You Down. Go and listen to Armand Van Helden, Wings, and then there's another one on Hexagon. I can't remember who it's by.
But the thing is, whatever.
I mean, it's just an example of how it happens, how either collective thought happens, or how, and that's inspiration as well. Like if they heard our track and went, "Well, I'm going to do something similar to that,"
and they thought they could make
good,
it.
Man. That's what house music is. It's all samples and ideas that we share. That's kind of, I've got that idea off.
Yeah,
of my chest.
We weren't mad at it at all. We got a little frustrated when people accused us of copying him.
We got accused. Yeah, we actually had to change our logo because they said, "Oh, you've copied your logo off
Yellow Claw."
Yellow Claw, and I'm like, my logo's 15 years old. Theirs is a week old.
Yellow Claw
Who do you think copied who?
Yellow Claw fans start taking target practice out of saying we copied their logo.
I don't think Yellow Claw copied it, but I think their designer had conceivably seen it.
I don't know. Well, our logo and their logo, there's some similarities, and the yellow
Not anymore, thank God.
No, we changed our logo because of that, because the Yellow Claw fans were saying we copied them, and you can't explain to every dickhead on Twitter, can you?
You don't have to either. I mean, ours was like an upside down peace sign, and it was twins, and there was thought went into it, and it's an E and a Y and another
No, an E and a C.
An E and a C, but the it also spelled I, if you remember.
Yeah.
You know, there was a
lot of thought
went into this.
Whereas theirs is a Y and a C, and that's it.
Yeah, basically. But so you can see the similarities. Maybe the guy, their designer, had seen it. Maybe not. Who knows? But it was time for us to change anyway. But that's how it happens. It's just frustrating. I guess that's just your own personal issue. It's great that new Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga, they went to number one, and I like that sound.
Did it go to number one, did it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And I like that sound. I'm really happy that happened. I just wish I wish it were me, if I'm honest with you. And I don't, we were doing similar stuff, and the quality's the same, so it'd just be nice to do that. But
it's also
too,
good
right?
when it's also good when a record like that is a hit. You think, okay, I can do that. It's not like something that comes out of, I can't think, but every couple of years a song comes out and you're like, shit, I wish I had done that.
Yeah, there's a couple of, there's
like,
about once every 5 years, some
you
guy
go to
will
the
come
studio,
along
you're
and
like, right, what has he done here? Or what have they done here? What have they done here? Keep referencing it until you work it out. Keep deconstructing it. What have they done? What is that synth? What is that sound? What is that melody? What is that? What is that sound? Whereas that, I listen to it and I go, well, yeah, if they had it, I can do that.
We're obviously in the right ballpark, which is why perhaps that we're having so much success getting things picked up and signed now.
Don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we just wanted to tell you about the swing. It's quite horrible, that, isn't it? It's a horrible story, isn't it? I mean, is it funny though?
I mean, I don't know if he told it in a funny way.
No, I don't know
I guess
either.
you can laugh at our expense, but if I'm honest,
Well, I think, what I think happened as we start to tell the story, which is a funny story.
But we didn't
the latent anger wakes up, and you're like, man,
we didn't find it funny at the time. I mean, we kind of found it funny, abstract. We knew we knew it was funny.
Right.
We knew it was funny. We know that everybody. Yeah. We know that every other DJ.
We know that it's funny for everybody except for us.
Yeah, we know that every other DJ who can walk upright is currently playing EDC and we're playing a swingers party. We see the humour in that, guys, We're like swag.
We can laugh at ourselves.
But, also it's not, if I'm honest, it's not what we wanted to be doing.
We wanted to tell you a story.
I wasn't happy about it.
We wanted to tell you a story today about DJing because we wanted to remind people that... well, that's what we are. And Alistair, you said all the DJs are sort of having...
Yeah, all the DJs at the moment, we're all having an existential crisis, aren't we? If you go and look at them all, every single one is making a post about...
TBT.
Miss this. Everyone will be like... Everyone will post like them killing a festival or killing a show, and you're like...
Yeah, and you're looking, the festival's back, and it's like 2009.
It'll be like, this time last year, miss this. Or those ones who like... Yo, miss this. Where would you like to see us play next? Or
because people have stopped talking to them.
Yeah, exactly. People have stopped talking to them. And then you've got one who are doing stupid shit like, they're like, I need some attention. So they're like, I don't know.
I've got coronavirus.
Yeah, or like proposing to their girlfriends during kind of live streams and stupid shit.
Oh no!
I need attention, so I'm running
propose
to my girlfriend.
God, I'm locked in the house with this girl, and I've got nowhere to sort of direct my energy. So I'm gonna get down on one knee. I'll have a baby
while live streaming. Yeah, have a baby. By the way, guys, don't get married and have kids. Stop it. It's so out of date.
It's so unoriginal.
It's so unoriginal, guys. Don't, honestly. I'm telling you, I can do what I want. I don't even know what time it is now. I don't even know. Is it Friday? It's Friday.
That's a good question.
And I don't even know what time it is.
Is it Friday or Thursday?
Yeah. Is it like midnight? I don't even know what time it is. It could be any time. I don't give a shit because I don't have to give a shit because I've got no wife and I've got no kids. I've got nobody to answer to. I just do what I want when I want. If I want to get up and go on my bike right now, go up and go on my bike. If I want to go out to eat, I'll go out to eat. You know what? I fell asleep at
Do you want to go and do a party and go to a nightclub then?
Freedom.
And wherever you go, you better wear a mask. So you're right. You're really free.
Yeah, wait a minute. Sorry. If I want to go out right now and order food that I have to eat outside on the street, if I'm lucky, 6 foot away from somebody with a mask on, I'll do that.
Because I'm free.
Actually, I can't do much, but within the constraints of what I can legally do right now, I can do them. I don't have any kid upstairs shitting in his hands and rubbing it into my walls. See my walls? Oh, they're free of Crayola. That's what happened to you,
Child
kids.
shit. It's just not rock and roll, is it?
Nah.
It's just not rock and roll.
No.
And that's what real motherfuckers do. They ride it till the wheels come off.
Yeah.
And I would say that the wheels, to be fair to those DJs that I've given up, have thoroughly come off right now. And hopefully it's only temporary.
Oh, yeah, that's what, again.
Yeah, I read about the guy from
No,
Lollapalooza.
today I said about coronavirus. You know how they're posting these test results, and I'm just giving you facts, guys. I am not.
Okay, so let me just rush to your defence here.
Okay.
Before you form an opinion on what he's saying, understand that he doesn't. What's happening is that the MAGA guys have gone in one direction to say it doesn't exist, and the mainstream media have gone in the other direction because they're controlled by the fear that the mainstream media forces down your throat. And the rest of us are just looking for the facts. So he's going to give you the facts. He isn't on either of those teams.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys who doesn't wear a mask. I wear a mask, certainly out of respect for other people. And, you know, I don't want to get sick if there is something out there. But I'm also not one of those guys who just thinks. I understand, okay, what's happening here, guys, is this. Yes, there is something out there, a coronavirus, COVID-19.
You say yes, but...
Okay, but...
There are lots of things out there.
Yeah, there are things out there. However, this is being massively exaggerated to accommodate a transference of wealth to the rich. I could go into it, but I don't have... This hat isn't lined with tinfoil, and you'd want it to be. I could go into it, but...
And we don't want to turn this podcast into a snuff movie.
But there's a transference of wealth happening at the moment, okay? The middle are getting poorer, the rich are getting richer, and the poorer aren't getting a fucking thing.
They're getting homeless.
Exactly. So that's what's happening at the moment. However, I said that, and again, all I deal with is facts. I don't... I'm not on anybody's side.
They inject $6 trillion or whatever it is, $1 trillion a day into the banks of your taxpayers' money, and you don't know where it goes. Nobody does.
No
because
receipts.
anything they signed off on didn't give them any obligation to give it to anybody in particular. So what they didn't throw into the stock market, so they could justify handing it over to the rich friends, they just gave to the banks and to the billionaires.
So
gave you guys $1,200.
They're facts. I could give you some more facts. Now, I say this on my social media just to say, look, guys, because I actually care about you guys. That's the thing. And the people who come at me, I'm like, I'm here saying this shit for you idiot. I'm saying it for you, and this guy comes up to me and goes, oh, you're just a jukebox with an ego who needs to shut his mouth, and you just...
But that's all true.
That's what I said to him. I did accept that. He said, and you just washed up because live music isn't happening anymore, and you're never going to get your job back.
Conceivable.
Yeah.
Well, what was your point there? He was right on all four counts, arguably, with the fourth being
But
perhaps
why
the hopeful exception.
Why attack me? Why attack me?
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why attack me? You know what I say to that? Because just so you know, if you will attack me, I am juvenile. I will attack you back. I will pick whatever it is about you that I can see.
And I'm good too.
And I will go low. So this guy had a very...
I've had so many people call me something, and I've gone up diplomatically, call me something again, and I've just picked the one I'm really good at picking, Achilles heel, and just hitting them right on it.
What is that called,
and
man?
then everybody turns around and goes, whoa, there's no need for the name calling. I'm like, he started it.
The guy's just called me a fucking...
That's like me dodging his punches and then landing one on his chin, and you going, whoa, there's no need for fisticuffs.
No need to fight back. What is it called where they say something and you come back with just an insult? What is that called? I always forget that word.
A retard?
No, you change the subject. Trump.
Oh, ad hominem?
Ad hominem, exactly. He comes
Ad
at me.
hominem.
Instead of me trying to educate him and say, listen, which I could take the higher thing and say, listen, man, I love you. And
just go for an ad hominem attack.
I just went for an ad hominem attack. I noticed that his hair was kind of going back and he was still trying to spike it. Yeah. He was like probably...
the comb over's not working.
Probably 60 and he's still trying to comb his hair like he's 20. And that's what I said to him, give up on that hair.
You're not childish, and I don't even care.
And the guy's like, whoa, no need to go there. I'm like, you just called me an iPod with an ego who's broke. I felt like saying, you know what, man? Listen, let me be honest with you. I own several properties. I don't need to work again. I'm good.
I own several properties, and here's what we're trying to tell you.
I'm on your side.
We're trying to tell you how this system works, because if you know how the game is played, you'll know how to protect yourself against it. If you're sitting back saying, well, Trump's going to save me, or Biden's going to save me. That's not going to happen.
Like your parents.
And meanwhile, you're saying...
Like they care about you.
Meanwhile, you're saying, if it's not for the immigrants in this country stealing all our jobs or black people or
you're
gay
arguing
people...
You're arguing over what bathroom Bruce Jenner takes a piss in.
You're all arguing over utter bullshit, utter bollocks. The rich are picking your pockets, all right? So you want me to justify that? Look at the stock market. When half of the country is out of work, and by the way, a lot of those jobs aren't coming back, and when they stop this $600 a month and your rent keeps going, you're going to get kicked out and the homeless crisis is going to be nuts. Look at the stock market. It's booming.
Look at the banks.
Because they're throwing your taxpayers' money, your money to those rich people. When you guys need it, they're throwing it to them. You're saying you don't like...
I say that.
You're saying you don't like socialism. They're getting... That is socialist. So fuck, the banks love socialism. The billionaires love socialism.
Socialism for the rich. Socialism for the...
taking your money.
Socialism for the rich. For the poor, it's...
raw...
individualism,
yeah.
Yeah, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I ain't getting any boots.
Yeah.
You know,
and
kind of like
by
that.
the way, I'm not saying, I'm a hardcore socialist either. I'm saying I like capitalism, but pretty soon we're going to have to pick up our pitchforks, guys.
So
we, like Alistair said, we bought a couple of properties and we put a little bit
my
of money in the stock market.
Is this.
We know the rules.
We know how the system works. So what we did is we took our money that we've earned over the years. And yes, we've had a few, Maseratis and Mercedes and fancy cars, right? But that's because we had an excess of money. Those things aren't real. Most of the time you'll see me driving around in a truck that I paid. How much did we pay for that truck?
I think we paid $7,200 about 20 years ago.
So most of the time you see me driving about.
It's still the coolest truck on the street.
I love my truck.
It's the coolest car in LA. I could pull that up. I pulled that car up next to a Bentley, and I'm like,
I love how we've got cardboard boxes in the back of it because it pads our bikes out. But
everything. I love everything about that truck.
Most of the time, you'll see me throwing my bicycle in the back of my truck and driving my truck. Oh, you'll see me on a bicycle. You don't see me in the fancy cars that much. But for those who are going to accuse me of having fancy cars, yes, I've had them because you know what? I was born poor and. I felt like having them. However, I don't think it makes me any better than anybody else because I've had fancy cars. But with most of our money, what we've done is we bought properties and we've put the money into the properties. We've paid them as much as we can off so the banks can fuck off away from us.
And we can beg our mortgage if we have to.
I can go out there and beg my mortgage payments.
No, it's maybe not that easy, and these times are stressful for us. Perhaps even more than anybody else. And we've risked everything, including our health and everything, to have a dream that's just been pulled out from under us as it has with every DJ. And that's the only good part, is that we are in the DJ community, in the nightclub community, all suffering, but we are all in it together, and there's some unity in that. But
I guess my point is, though, Matt,
what his point is
I say something for this person's defence is evidently I can look at his social media and see, and I'm not judging. Again, I've been poor, I've been wealthy, I've been somewhere in between, I've been poor again and wealthy again, I've been up and down, and I mean broke.
With regards to the coronavirus, just on that note, so there's enough people who I trust who tell me that people have been sick for me to be like, this is scary.
Something going on here.
This is scary. But just before, so I'll listen to those people. I'm not mad at those people. If that's scary, man. That's really scary. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, don't stop arguing with each other. Listen to each other. On the flip side, you get the conspiracy theorists. Now, here's the facts. They've never isolated purely a coronavirus cell. That means with
COVID-19, they've isolated
coronavirus. COVID-19. They've never isolated it just on its own. There've been other genetic...
I think they've isolated it. I remember around March, there was a story, and we're going all the way back to March the 12th, March the 13th, that they'd isolated SARS-CoV-2 or SARS-2
there's
COVID.
Viral particles, but not on its own.
That causes...
They've not got it. You can't see a picture of it. I know you go, well, I've seen a picture. You've seen
a picture of a red thing.
You've seen a computer-generated image.
You've seen a picture of SpongeBob SquarePants, but there isn't a sponge walking about outside.
They haven't isolated it. Okay, that's a fact. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Clearly, there's a lot of people telling me they've been sick, and I'm as scared as you. But I'm telling you, they haven't isolated it. And some of these conspiracy theorists know that. Also remember that Dr. Fauci, who I listen to a lot, I listen to him, he calms me down. I think, okay, I'll listen to this guy. But he told us in March February, not to wear masks.
And he was clear about it.
And he was very clear not to wear masks. And now he's admitted that he was lying in order to save the PPE for the doctors and nurses. So if you were sick or had somebody who died in February, March, April because you didn't wear a mask or they didn't wear a mask, he's got blood on his hands and he's just told us he's a liar and now we're supposed to believe him.
He's basically said, yeah, I lied to you, but
He basically said, yeah, I lied to you, but believe me now.
You shouldn't have believed me then, but believe me now.
So
no,
if you
forget
wanted
about
to
it.
pour fuel on the fire of somebody who likes conspiracy theories, you're going about it the right way. So don't
I have two forms. My problem is I have two forms of arguments, Mark. I post that and I say there's a massive transference of wealth that's happening. And I have two things happen. One, the woke people who aren't actually woke come at me and say, yo, bro, what YouTube videos you've been watching? And they'll post the memes of I don't listen to all the scientists, the chemists, the doctors. I listen to YouTube videos and they give me all shit. And I'm like, again, instead of posting a meme back at me and telling me I've watched, debunk me.
Who's this though? I'm lost.
What? If I post that saying there's a transference of wealth going, right. I got all the woke people saying...
But why are we talking about the wealth again?
Because that's what I posted. I posted that and I get the woke people...
We'd moved on from that part, I thought.
Okay, well, whatever. If you say that, what you just say, I get the woke people saying, oh, somebody's watched too many YouTube videos.
But
and then in my inbox, you can stay out my inbox as well, posting these crazy, but Trump's going to save us all. It's happening on his watch. What you on about? He's either incapable of helping us or not trying.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care about that. He doesn't
care about you. He only cares about himself.
He's not going to help you. The guy's 70 years old. He's never done anything charitable or benevolent. If you support
puts
him,
his own name on the top of his fucking buildings.
If you want to vote,
which, by the way, Trump in Britain means fart. So
it means fart.
That's what
fart.
In Britain, it's gross. I don't like talking about it. But in Britain, you don't say "Did you fart?" You say "Did you Trump?"
So what I'm saying to you is, if you want to vote for Trump, go ahead. Do what you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't hate you, by the way. If
you want to vote for Biden, I totally understand. Go ahead. However, if you expect to convince me...
And the woke people, even the woke people, guys,
I may as well vote
drive me nuts, you woke people, but I need you to know that your ideals are the same as my ideals. So if your ideals are like, we don't like racism, of course not. We hate that shit.
I've been speaking
we want gay rights. We want church. Yeah, us too. If it's your body.
We have been speaking about our hatred for racism, homophobia, and we have been speaking out about our need for equality in the world since we were little boys.
You can see the first eye candy fly, which is where the ENC comes from, a club.
The first ever flyer we did for one of our events, we tell them.
It's like a mission statement for what the woke people think, but you're going about it the wrong way.
And I wrote that when I was 15 or 16 years old.
Let me give you an example of why you're going about it the wrong way. They interviewed a woke person, well, several woke people. So on one, they had a guy hold a door open for a woman, and they asked the woke person, well, what do you think of that? And they said it was sexist, because he assumed that she couldn't open the door up for herself. Okay, fine. Fair enough argument. So then the next time they had the guy walk through the door, he held the door open for the guy, he let it go for the girl, and they said, what do you think, to another woke person? The woke person said it's sexist because he didn't hold it open for the woman.
I just want to know
you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So that means if you open the door for a woman, you're sexist, and if you don't, you're sexist. So you're a sexist.
However, you've all
seen...
What
about if you're just not a sexist? How's about that?
However, you've all seen...
I'm holding the door open, girl or guy. I've got manners. Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really difficult out there at the moment, Mark, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we put out the video of how we lost weight and get accused of...
fat shaming.
Yeah. I mean... I don't even know where to start. They're fit shaming, aren't they? They're fit shaming. Like what? I don't personally want to be overweight. If you do... Right, fine.
Well, as long as you're happy, that's the main thing.
If you're happy and you don't care about being overweight, then it's none of my business. Do what you want. I'm not happy doing that, so you can shut your fucking mouth about it. Unless we want to start debating it. Unless you want I don't want to be fat. If you don't care, it's up to you. I don't care.
Right.
You be fat if you're happy. Cool. I don't judge anything about you. You know what I mean? But don't tell me.
But we're actually adding to the conflict now, and I think the only way we get through all this is with a bit of unity and listening to each other. And actually, you know what? If you are like of the mindset that coronavirus is going to kill us, but you have to come at me with facts. Because yesterday I had some guy come to me and go, "Whoa, bro, it's 9 to 13% death rate." No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a 0.4% death rate for those that contract it, and it's 0.05, currently between 0.04 and 0.05% chance of you contracting coronavirus and dying, which is still quite scary, but it's not 9 to 13%.
Again, like I say, think about it. But think about it from a celebrity point of view. Do you know any celebrities over this COVID era, other than, you know, the biggest celebrity we know over the COVID era who had a horrific death, and it's tragic, is the Broadway star. Terrible. I don't even want to think about that.
Does his girlfriend have? Does his wife have a GoFundMe, or what happened with that?
I don't know. They live around the corner from me, Mike. They live at the bottom of this street.
That was brutal.
Brutal. However, that's the only kind of celebrity person that we know has died of it. Whereas, let's think about cancer. I know a lot of celebrities who died. I mean,
Kelly Preston
just got like eaten to death off breast cancer. Died horrifically over 2 years. She wasn't even that old, you know.
John Lewis, the civil rights activist, just died today from cancer. So if you want, that's a really good point. If you want to describe in graphic detail every celebrity death through cancer, the same way we're describing every celebrity death through coronavirus,
then cancer's an epidemic, right?
Then we can't.
Why is it we're concentrating on COVID? Me having heart disease, you know, again, I always mention it, but I've had an open heart surgery. You know how many people I've seen drop dead from this? Well, how many people I see die of this all the time? And how many brutal things I see in you know, in the hospitals.
But the thing is about coronavirus, and so... But nevertheless, those people who share that, it's terrifying.
Suddenly,
and
though,
I'm
they're only
with you,
focusing
and
on...
I wear a mask, and I'll do all those things until we all work out what's going on. But I'll do that out of respect for everybody else.
I'm going to hold back on the vaccine.
And I'm not
going to be first in line for that vaccine.
I have some shit to say about that, but we'll do that another time. But I'm with you. And I'll do it out of respect for whenever I've forgotten my mask. I feel awful.
Yeah, like
for the people who are around me and they're terrified that
sometimes we go out cycling and I'll take my mask off in the car, or I'll change my jersey, or I'll take a jacket off, wear my mask in my pocket, and I go out riding. I get to a store, I go for my mask, and I've forgotten it. And
people, because they say, "Bro, that's peer pressure." He's like, you know what, dude? No, it's not. It's just kind of people are scared right now, and you don't know it doesn't exist. So let's just look out for each other. It's not really a problem for me to wear a mask. However, if I'm cycling in the hills on my own, I'll take it off. You know, there's nobody around. But on the CDC page, and I can post the page of the website, it says for this test, because now they're not posting the deaths anymore. Back in February, March, April, it was death. Now there's not that many people dying. So now they've got to go case numbers. But on the CDC website, it says if you have the antibodies, or if you have another coronavirus, including the common cold, or if they're just coronavirus in your system that your immune system's doing a perfectly good job of fighting.
Coronavirus, just so you know, there's not just one type of coronavirus, there's many different types.
Coronavirus included, the common cold is a coronavirus. You could throw up a positive test. So the more people they test, the more numbers are going to come in. And now the numbers are terrifying, but as those numbers go up, the deaths aren't quite going up the same way. So there's something to feel kind of happy about. Like, if there is that much coronavirus around,
it's like you said,
not
Mike,
so many people are dying,
maybe
maybe it's not as dangerous as we thought. I'm terrified to think what will happen in October and November when people start testing positive for coronavirus, but not necessarily COVID-19. It could be pneumonia, it could be the flu, things that kill people, and they do start dropping dead, and we're going to get a second lockdown again.
Yeah, so
that's leaning towards listening to the conspiracy theories. They're just the two sort of conflicting opinions out there that I'm like, okay, well, you guys come and you say it's going to kill a lot of us. It seems that there are people getting sick and dying. It sounds awful. That's terrifying. But these guys are bringing facts too. So if you talk to each other...
What happens is that the terrified people come to us and say, everybody's going to die, blah, blah. And me and you just instantly go and look at the numbers and go, And we do the maths and we go, okay, those numbers aren't so bad.
Because it's only
for
the
deaths.
numbers that are going to calm me down.
Yeah, that calms us down.
It's no good being terrified by the news. And
then
no
the crazy people say, the conspiracy theorists, I don't know, they're both crazy.
Just because it's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's wrong.
No. Some of them tend to be like crazy Trump fans, and
Well, that's what annoys us, is how you guys have managed to separate facts down political lines. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea.
And you come at me and tell me it's...
I have no idea how politics got involved in science and numbers and statistics.
You tell me it's complete nonsense, it's all fake, and I go, well, no, I don't think it's all fake. Like, looking at it,
But that's what you think, but the reality is we don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know. What the hell do I know? I know enough to have enough time on my hands. If you just watch CNN and you bring me those facts, or you've read some article for
Fox
10 minutes,
News,
understand
MSNBC.
that other than making music and trying to stay creative, we have very little to do right now, except for go right down the wormhole of all of this.
Again, most of you out there are married, you've got kids, you've got responsibilities, so you flick on the news or you see an update on social media or you see a headline. Like, people posting today on my page headlines, they're not reading the story. Like, it says, guy in Arizona passes away with what looks like, what does he say? What looks like similar symptoms to coronavirus. Oh my God, how vague.
But there's so many symptoms right now. Remember, we saw a guy last week and he said, I've had it. I said, oh my God, what was it like? He said, I just had diarrhea.
For a day. He said, I had diarrhea for a day.
When was that a symptom? But dude, I don't mean to racially profile, because everybody knows I love the Latinos. But dude, you're Mexican.
I've eaten a lot of shady burritos in my
all
time.
had burritos.
Do you know what I mean? And had coronavirus for a day, if you know what I'm saying. I've had coronavirus for a day. So
what's the joke? I got into a
we
got into a
discussion with my friend. He said, "Oh, that burrito didn't agree with me."
Yeah.
Is that it?
Guess who won that disagreement?
Yeah.
The burrito.
You might need to sit closer to that, man.
Oh yeah.
Again, I hope this podcast. I wanted this podcast to be funnier than this, but
Well, what you were saying is that they have kids and things like that. Before I probably cut you off.
Most people out there, they have kids or wives, so they can't. They read a headline and they go, "Yep, that's a fact," and they share it. Or they read, "Guy dies with symptoms that look like coronavirus." 20-year-old guy dies with symptoms that look like coronavirus. Coronavirus, all symptoms look like COVID. By the way, all symptoms. Have you seen the symptoms are so across the board? Everybody dies. Who's not dying with a symptom that looks like coronavirus? A cough or a cold or a headache or a fever
And the PCR
or the
test,
shits.
just to let you know. And again, I only give you what I know are facts. So when it comes to the numbers and what has been,
Again, I've not finished my thought.
a positive. Well, finish your thought. Go on.
Well, all I'm saying is, if I read a story like that, if you read it and you post it, I go and I read the story. And then I research what the symptoms are, where we are with the symptoms. I research the numbers. I go and research. I read the full article. I don't just read the headline.
Which is always ambiguous. There's always an ambiguity. Often an ambiguity.
It's like they were saying the 30-year-old who, I discussed it with you yesterday, the 30-year-old who went to a COVID party and got sick. And it's got a picture of a girl in bed with a nurse around her. And I read it. There's no suggestion in the article that it was even a girl. There's no suggestion. There's nothing. There's not a name given. There's no factual information. It just said allegedly, suggested, all through that. Allegedly, a person in the 30s died in Arizona after attending a COVID-19 party. It suggested that possibly, and it never tells you that. It says a person possibly in their 30s. It doesn't even...
Could have been.
Yeah, they posted a picture of a girl in the hospital bed, and you go, and I've got friends posted, this girl died.
Could just be a newspaper or media outlet going, we need clickbait, just put a bullshit article.
It's probably
out there.
just some local newspaper saying, we need an article to go viral, post that.
Right. And we could write that ourselves. And,
I
could stick a couple of straws up my nose now, say I've got coronavirus, and you'd be out talking about the EC
Exactly.
twins.
I could post right now, EC twin suffers after questioning coronavirus.
We're not questioning it, are we? We're not questioning it. I don't want anybody saying
but I could post that. Is what I'm saying. If the headline was that, after questioning coronavirus, because there's a lot of them about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they say after questioning coronavirus, preacher dies. After questioning Trump fan dies.
Well, just to let you know where we get our facts from, because we always come back to the facts. We don't know. Remember when you thought you'd come into contact with somebody who got sick, and so they went to get tested. We took Alistair away and put him into hibernation.
I come into contact with a friend who was running 101 degree temperature for a couple of days.
And flu symptoms.
And I'd been in contact with him. I thought, oh God. So what do? We get me away because of, my heart disease. I'm a...
High risk
How
person. Can't you remember that term?
I don't know. So I can never remember it.
Not even a technical term.
They get me away. I go and lock myself in another house and have the person get tested.
The test come back negative. Cut a long story short.
The test come back negative. Both doctors, though, tested in 2 separate places. Just to make sure, both doctors call, and I spoke to them and say, there is no real way to test for this,
and that's because the
negatives. We don't think this person had COVID-19. We don't think that, first of all, and even if the test come back positive, we still don't think they have. And even if they come back negative, it doesn't tell us anything. They basically said to us, which is very rare for doctors, don't waste your money. They told me this before the tests were taken. And I said, take the tests anyway. We'll pay for them. Take the 2 tests. And both doctors were like, you're wasting your money. This person...
And the person who invented the PCR test was a Nobel Prize winner. I think won the Nobel Prize in 1984, a German called Kary Mullis. And he said this is not a good idea to test for a virus using this test. It does not test for viruses. So the test that they're using is testing for a virus that they've not isolated. So you're going to take a look at those numbers and say, well, the numbers are spiking. Well, how many people are dying? Because that's all we're really scared of right now, all of us. Is this going to kill us or anybody we love? That's what we're afraid of. So anything other than that, what we give you is just a fact. And the facts we give you, even though they might sound conspiratorial, they are facts. And what they're supposed to do is calm you down.
I'm open to a good conspiracy.
Yeah. I'm not against that. Definitely not. But they're there to calm you down, to say, hopefully, guys, it's not as serious as we first feared. And so why did I read that the co-creator from Lollapalooza said today that events won't be back till 2022? What the hell's that all about? Yeah. Wow. Can we end on a point? We got anything positive to say to people? Can we end on a positive note? But basically, you know what? Like and subscribe, because we're going to keep content coming. So if you want to listen to the podcast, for the podcast only, go to any of your podcast providers, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. We're there. Listen to it. It's just
and this is just, we can't physically hang out with you at the moment. I mean, I don't know what to say. I can't. I've thought about ways of doing it. We tried to do a party and that got the kibosh by...
well, it didn't really, did it? But we decided to kibosh it.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it for us in case anybody did get sick or...
We don't know enough to gamble with
people's lives or our own. We don't want to gamble with...
We'd take the gamble if it was just our lives.
Yeah, I'd probably gamble my own life, but I don't want to gamble with anybody else's, you know what I mean? So we couldn't do the party. So we're not allowed to physically hang out with you. So, as we enter this technocracy, which is the next stage, we're going to...
By the way, I've got a lot. I guess I'll deal with that another time. But yeah, that guy who wants to put a chip in your head, that hero of yours, that Elon Musk, his grandfather was the head of the technocrat party in Canada. So, that's where we're heading to. The technocracy, which is where we all get a chip in our head and there's a bunch of bureaucrats and autocrats in the background pushing in our orders.
I invested in Tesla. Okay, I know how the game works.
Get the chip for all we care. You're making us rich.
I mean, my money's tripled. It's over tripled itself.
But anyway, what this is hopefully it helps with some of that social distancing. It helps you feel in touch with people and that you can hang out with us. Leave a comment if you're on YouTube or on social media and talk to us. We try to talk back to as many people as we can. I think we get through most people, don't we, Alistair?
Yeah, I mean the people who just come in and tell me, like one girl the other day said, Trump's going to save us. And I said, I doubt it. And she told me to go fuck myself. I don't carry on talking to people like that. Or the person today who I posted a fact and he's a big CNN watcher and he called me a tinfoil hat wearing iPod with an ego who's finished and washed up. I called him...
It's not my bloody fault, is it?
I told him...
You don't know that, mate. You don't know that.
I told him, though those things are very true, he is really old and bald.
And really ugly.
I told him he was just out of touch, old.
You got
bald.
to go all the disgust.
I told him he was an out of touch, old bald twat.
You got
and then blocks
you
him.
You should have thrown poor in there, because what I do when they say that to me
is double down on arrogance.
I double down on what they think I am. Yeah. They don't know me. They don't know who I am.
No.
They don't know I'm from a housing project.
No, and they've not
relatively down to earth. So they'll give me some crap, thinking I'm some arrogant douchebag. And
I've ever mentioned,
I'll just become the arrogant douchebag that they think
my
I am,
update had anything to do.
Pretend that I care that he's poor and ugly.
Like my update on him being like my update on what did I say my update was about? I don't even remember.
I can't remember.
Like my update on there's not so many deaths in Scotland today has got anything to do with what I do for a job. And he just comes at me from that angle. He doesn't even debunk what I'm saying.
He is going to have a valid point sometimes.
He just comes at me and says, shut the fuck up, you...
It's hilarious.
Overpaid jukebox, overpaid iPod.
But those things are all true.
So, let's go there then, though. It's like I said, let's go there then. Let's just start calling
We've
each other...
We've done this conversation 3 times today. Right. Did he bother you that much?
No, just those type of people.
Give him one crushing. Call his wife ugly and move on.
He got
Call his wife and children ugly and move on. What's he gonna do? Because what's he gonna do about it? He can go ask that Hell's Angel how that worked out. Yeah. Not trying to pick a fight with the Hell's Angels out there.
Say something really personal to him that hurts him, and he's going to take it home. And
what the hell's he going to do about it?
Ask him what he's going to do about it, and then yeah.
And he's up back there polishing his guns, and if he wants to do that, he can do that. I don't care anymore. But like and subscribe, and there's going to be lots of content on the YouTube, because we have our camera now and nothing better to do except for be creative and make videos. Maybe taking you around some of our favourite spots, showing you how we make music, what we do in our free time, blogs and stuff like that, and more of these podcasts. I feel like David Bent, more of these. It's a British reference to the British Office. But yeah, like and subscribe. And Alistair, anything to add?
No, I've said the same thing 3 times, so obviously I'm just, got a wild hair up my ass.
A very uneventful week. All right, guys, we do love you, and don't take life too seriously and stop bloody arguing.
Well, we take this podcast quite seriously.
Yeah.
It's weird out there.
Yeah, least of all, don't take us seriously.
Oh, no, Christ, don't take us seriously. No. Everything we've just said for the last however long it's been, just forget about it.
Borderline satire, sarcasm, dry wit.
Forget about it. All right, guys.